picked up. He didn't run any hard laps, and he captured the pole position and saved some tires. Quick update on his teammate, Patrick Carpentier. We saw him slowing on course just a couple of laps ago. We went to the team. They said the engine stumbled. Now it's back up to speed, but they're unsure what the problem was.
Not good news for him.
And that is Carpentier in the light blue car behind Adrian Fernandez. By far the quickest car this morning in warm-up. He'd been running Paul Tracy's setup through most of the weekend, and their styles are enough different that it wasn't agreeing with him. He made some changes to the car going into turn 1, Paddock Hill Bend, had a little bit too much rear brake. And if you have too much rear brake, when the car gets light right here, the rear wheels want to lock, and that's what probably caused that skid that Adrian Fernandez experienced. He made some changes, shifted some weight bias, the brake bias to the front, and was really happy with his car 3/10 quicker than everyone in warm-up.
On board with Darren Manning, 10th in the championship, second best rookie behind Mario Haberfeld. He's driving for car owner Derek Walker, who came here as a young fan, then came here as a racing driver, then as a Formula One mechanic for the great world champion Graham Hill. Let's go to Derek Daly.
Derek, you've been here many times. Now you have the most popular man on the field, Darren Manning. All going according to plan so far?
Yeah, very much so. We're right on target. Just trying to save a little bit more fuel if we can. Give ourselves a bit more cushion later on.
Thanks, Derek. So saving fuel seems to be the common theme here. If the pits seem to be louder than normal, we are in a bowl here at Brands Hatch, and the noise seems to hang around, and it is deafening down here in the pit lane. I'm sure you can hear it.
That will come into play on pit stops, because the crew guys will not be able to hear themselves think. Usually they can yell back and forth if they're having any sort of trouble. They will not be able to do that at all. So they'll be in their own little worlds. The pit stops, some different rules they have to contend with. So when the first round of stops come around lap 55, that'll be interesting to watch.
We're almost halfway to that point right now. If you're just joining us, Jimmy Vasser, the first car out of the race after a mechanical problem on the very first lap. A huge disappointment for the 1996 Series champion.
Now, fuel will be a consideration all day, but it's most critical in this first stint going to lap 55, because they have to go 55 in each of the 3 legs. But you add the 3 or 4 pace laps on the front of the race, and so they use fuel during that and warming the car up. So it's much harder to make the mileage number on the first leg. So Derek Walker said we want to build a little bit of a cushion. Hopefully in stints 2 and 3, they can turn Manning loose and have him try to charge up the order.
There's Alex Tagliani with the Rocket Sports team. Let's go to Calvin Fish.
Well, it's very interesting down here this weekend. You see John Gentilozzi, who's one of the engineers on Tag Squad here, as Paul Gentilozzi's son. He should have been graduating on Saturday at Michigan State University, but the priorities are being at the racetrack, Bob.
How many times do we see that in motorsports? Young drivers missing their prom or their high school graduation, a college graduation in the case of John.
I had a counselor at school question me. He says, "You will be missing school for auto racing?"
It's kind of like Louis Armstrong said about jazz. If we have to explain it to you, you wouldn't understand it. Out of the Druids Corner, named for the ancient people that once populated this part of southern England and left a lasting impression, known as Stonehenge. Alex Tagliani has been doing great work for this team, picking up their first podium in the second race of the season.
He made up some spots on the stop, but he's fallen back from third place Junqueira. He's been complaining to the team over understeer, meaning the front end is sliding a little bit. He's asked them to give him a little bit more front wing to help push the front end down a little bit more at the next pit stop.
If someone has push or understeer, you see it right there in Druids. They go to the driver's left. They can't keep the car tight in the corner. Down the Cooper Straight into the corner named for John Surtees, who lives not far away from Brands Hatch and is the only man in history to win world championships on both 2 and 4 wheels. Well, the noise is deafening here at Brands. As Derek Daly mentioned, it's a natural bowl discovered by a group of cyclists, bicycle racers, back in 1924. They asked the local farmer if they could use his field to set up a practice track. They did that. The first race was held just a few years later, matching bicycle racers against cross-country runners. And the two For the bipeds, the runners actually won the race with the help of a world champion. The first auto race was held in 1950. Lunging down Paddock Hill Bend goes the bright orange and white car driven by young Spaniard Oriol Servia from the Barcelona area. Let's learn more on him with Calvin Fish.
Well, Oriol's certainly having a great run here this afternoon. He's masterminded by Jim McGee. Jim, 25 years ago, he had a win here with Rick Mears. Has this place changed much, or pretty much the same?
Well, it's about the same, but yeah, that was a great day, and we're having a great run here with the Visteon car. And you know, the car's running well. The crew's doing a great job. Bridgestone's done a great job on the tire here for coming here without a lot of testing, so we're real pleased.
Very different racetrack, Jim. What will be the key to victory, do you believe, this afternoon?
Well, I think the pit stops and the fact that if we can stretch a stop longer than the leader, because it's so close. The front-running cars are within 5 or 6 seconds, so it's got to be one in the pits, I think.
Talking about track position, Bob, if they can get out, stretch it a little bit further and just grab the lead or move up a position, very tough to pass here.
Working lap number 29 of 165. Remember, the golden number is 55. You want to get at least that far under the green flag.
Now the mileage is different important for a couple of reasons. Not only do you have to make it to lap 55, what McGee, it sounded like he was going to do is try to make it to lap 56. Now what that does, if you don't make it to 55, you have to make an extra stop, which really kills you. But if you're able to even stretch it another lap, that extra lap of green flag running on hot tires, a lot of the teams, if the other guy stops a lap earlier, by running one extra lap on hot tires at speed while the guy's coming out of the pits on cold tires, you're able to make up positions that way. So that's why up front, now what comes into this factor a lot is downforce. And Paul Tracy had a lot of people scratching their heads when he showed up with a real high downforce setting. We're going to illustrate what we're talking about here. The side pods is what makes the biggest difference. Now here, Paul Tracy on the left. These big flugels here, the side pod is tucked in a lot more on Paul Tracy's car. Gives him a lot more downforce. A lot of the other cars, both Newman Haas cars, like Bruno's right here, that run straighter. They have some of these little dive planes underneath to generate downforce, but it's a lower drag setup. Now, why would they run that here? Because there's a rule that says you have to run the same configuration you run here that you run in Germany the race tomorrow. So Paul Tracy, nobody can figure out why he's sacrificed Germany to the extent he has. They say we'll worry about that next week. We've got a trick up our sleeve, but for this weekend, he has a little bit of a downforce advantage. The other side of that sword is downforce causes drag. It's going to be harder for Paul Tracy to make his mileage number than the guys behind him.
Now, why is downforce an issue at one track as opposed to the other? Well, obviously here it's short and twisty. You want maximum downforce to hold that car to the road so you can go as fast as possible. The Euro Speedway Lausitz is a 2-mile super speedway where you want to pin your ears back and have as few aerodynamic downforce inducing protuberances out into the airstream as you can possibly get. So what do you go for? High downforce for the road course or super speedway trimmed back aerodynamic profile for the Euro Speedway Lausitz? Either Paul Tracy's team knows something that everybody else doesn't, or he could have a problem when he drops anchor on that super speedway in the German 500. On board with Bruno Junqueira. Let's take a full lap of the Brands Hatch circuit. The only thing we don't give you is the G-forces that want to throw you out of the car or rip the helmet off your head or press you into the seat. It's a cool day here at Brands Hatch, but these drivers are working very hard. CBS Sports coverage of the London Champ Car Trophy will continue after this message and a word from your local station. Welcome back to Brands Hatch in West Kingsdown, England, and the London Champ Car Trophy is a part of the Bridgestone presents the Champ Car World Series powered by Ford season. Paul Tracy is the leader. There you see the top 5. I'm Bob Varshall along with Tommy Kendall. Derek Daly and Calvin Fish are in the pit lane. And a moment ago, Alex Jung, that yellow car you see behind Michel Jourdain Jr., had quite a moment in Paddock Hill Bend, Tommy Kendall.
Big wiggle, big oversteer moment with Mario Haberfeld trying to capitalize. I'm surprised Jung was able to gather it back up and get, look at that. Very similar to what happened to Fernandez on the start.
And off up the hill they went. Haberfeld took a look up the inside in Druids, but couldn't get it done. Now let's get more on young Alex Jung with Derek Daly.
With Dale Coyne, Alex Jung's team owner, I know you had a bit of a smile and a bit of a heart flutter when you saw that moment with your driver Alex Jung.
I guess you'd call it a tank smacking over here. But no, he held his position. He's doing good. He qualified 13th. He was up to 10th. Now he's sitting 11th in some good company. This is a track he knows. It's been tough for him in the States because he doesn't know the tracks. He doesn't know street racing. So finally, he's on a track that he's been on before.
Thanks, Dan. And remember, they dumped him into the deep end in Mexico because he never even had a test day. They threw him right in. He's had precious few test days since then. And today, I don't know whether you can read it, but he's got Malaysia down the side pods of his car because the Malaysian Tourist Board are now supporting his efforts in Champ Car.
You can see that car showing a little bit of smoke at the back as well.
The team is saying it's just an oil scavenge for the turbocharger, and they're not concerned about it. I think the term is technically a tank slapper or a lurid slide, they might say, here in Jolly Old. Now we're on board with second place Sebastian Bourdais, highest running rookie in the field. Let's get more on him with Calvin Fish.
Bob, I just spoke to Craig Hampson, and he said they're getting excellent mileage. Both Bruno and Sebastian are hitting their numbers perfectly. I said, can you get through on a 2-stop? He said, if we don't get messed up with an uncertain yellow flag situation, we are looking really good for a 2-stop. On the other hand, I checked in with Adrian Fernandez, and their guys are saying lap 50, they may have to pit. And they said, if we don't get yellow, no way can we do it on a 2-stop. So the Newman-Haas boys, in that low downforce kit that they have on the cars, are getting excellent mileage, and the cars are working well.
Thanks, Calvin. Craig Hampson, the engineer for young Sebastian Bourdais, and he has had his hands full with the young rookie, trying to get him calmed down. Bourdais took pole position in his first 2 Champ Car starts, but one race produced a lowly 11th place finish. The other one he did not finish after running into the wall with a rear wheel on both occasions, trying to make up for a flawed pit strategy. Now we're just a few laps through those pit stops, and as you can see, pit lane is very tricky. It is narrow. They're iron grades, concrete and asphalt. Some teams even installed these pads to allow them to get their wheels completely off the ground to change tires on this very rough surface. That was a moment in this morning's practice when Bourdais pulled right out in front of Mario Dominguez. Not the only one we've seen thus far this weekend.
One more added wrinkle to the pits that makes it even more difficult. The pit exit dumps the cars out right in the middle of Paddock Hill Bend. They'll be going about 60 miles an hour on stone cold tires. Guys will be coming up on their left, 180 miles an hour navigating. They won't be able to see the car on the inside till they crest the hill. There's flaggers and there's spotters on top of the building talking to the drivers, but the pit exit is right there on the right. That was the pit exit that he flashed past. This is, I think, the closest that Bourdais has been to Paul Tracy. We do not have an update from Tracy on whether they're hitting their fuel number or not, but they're going to have a tougher time because of the added downforce they're carrying.
Well, we'll find out shortly. Working lap number 48. Now there you see the spotters that each team has been required to put up above to help coach their drivers back on track above the pit exit, those yellow lines. And that's a great shot of Paddock Hill Bend and the paddock for the support races this weekend beyond. A huge crowd on hand. The racetrack estimates 40,000 fans today, a total over the past 3 days of nearly 60,000 for the inaugural running of the London Champ Car Trophy. I would imagine will be deemed a success. On board with Darren Manning.
And the way Manning's been hustling this rainout around to try to make up for the downforce deficit has been very, very impressive. It's made me worry about him for 165 laps, though.
Manning is sponsored by the RAC, which was once known as the Royal Automobile Club, much the way the American AAA was the American Automobile Association. Travel service, breakdown service. They replace windscreens, a number of other things, but the RAC has chosen to get behind a young British race driver, Darren Manning. First pit stop, Alex Tagliani is in. Calvin Fish awaits him.
35 miles an hour. It's a crawl as they come down here down this very tight pit lane, and look at Tagliani's pit box. It's right over a drainage situation there in his pit box. Now we're looking to see if they're going to add some front wing. We understand he's got big understeer with the car. They go to the front wing, one turn, pit stop looks okay from what I can see here. Good stop for the Rocket Sports team. 12 seconds, Bob.
More teams are in behind them. I see Tiago Montero with the Fittipaldi-Dingman team is in. Looks like Rodolfo Levine is in the Walker Racing pits in the Corona car. Derek Daly.
Levine has the tires changed, waits for the fuel. Something unusual about these pit stops. You are not allowed to leave the left rear tire out in the pit lane because it blocks everybody else. So the left rear guy has to grab his tire back as soon as his stop is over. Manning is on his way in. Derek Walker was disappointed. He didn't quite get to that magic lap 55, but Derek said he'd rather be conservative on this first run. Manning is on his way in. He's in pit lane.
I'm wondering if we have a little bit of poker going on because the Newman Haas guys, Craig Hampson says we're fine on fuel. They know that the players team will be monitoring what they say. Consequently, Tracy's asking if he knows when the other guys, the Newman Haas guys, will be in, and his team told him we have not heard.
Lap 52 and a host of cars are in. Adrian Fernandez, one of the players' cars. That's Patrick Carpentier. Let's go to Calvin Fish.
And so tight there, Bob. Adrian's team had laid out their tires. Pat really had to work hard to get his car into the pit box. Now Adrian Fernandez, you see the car straddles the concrete and the blacktop. And look at the leaves. They've actually laid down. Whoa! Adrian right over the top of the wheel gun and air hose. Oh, Carpentier's car flicking it back. I don't think anyone got damaged or hurt there, should I say. But a scary moment. That's what it's going to be like all day long down here, Bob.
Joel Camathias also pitted in the Dale Coyne Racing pits. The young Swiss sponsored in a novel bit of marketing by his hometown of Lugano, Switzerland. Here's Oriol Servia going by Darren Manning. The order up front remains Tracy, Bourdais, Junqueira, Servia, and Jourdain. Now this was Darren Manning's view. Look up ahead for cars to pull into the pit lane in front of him. Carpentier and Fernandez.
These cars accelerate to 35 miles an hour in less than a second, so they pull out right in front, but then they're up to speed. More pit stops. That's Ryan Hunter-Reay in the dark blue car. Patrick Lemarié behind him. Hunter-Reay had an accident in the pit lane testing at Portland, so you saw him dump the clutch and then he clutched it again to make sure he got around that team ahead of us safely.
Darren Manning off and on into the gravel outside Paddock Hill Bend on the run up to Druids.
You can see something underneath the right side pod dragging.
The last man we expected to go off there is the most experienced racer here at Brands Hatch. There is Servia completing his first green flag stop. Traffic up in Druids. As Roberto Moreno, Ryan Hunter-Reay still slow as Tiago Montero tries to go around him. And that's Patrick Lemarié in the Scientific Atlanta sponsored car from PK Racing, all in white.
And Paul Tracy has received a gift.
This is Manning going off in Paddock Hill Bend.
Tires not yet up to temperature. Look at the rough ride he takes through the gravel. Paul Tracy's in the pit lane. What I was saying, he got a gift in the form of Joel Camathias came out right in front of Sebastian Bourdais. So instead of a 1 second gap coming into the pits, he only had a 3 second gap. Or he had a 3 second gap.
Tracy and Bruno Junqueira go to the 55 lap mark. Tommy, that is a wild ride. Now, while we were away, Paul Tracy pitted. Busy with other matters, as you know. Oh, this is Mario Haberfeld, the rookie leader. There is Sebastian Bourdais. Go, Calvin.
Well, Sebastian Bourdais gets the extra lap that Craig Hampson was looking for. The key is now when he exits pits lane, does he gain track position on Paul Tracy as he heads down the front drag here? It's going to be tight. Sebastian Bourdais, good pit stop as Paul Tracy flashes by. Who's going to get the lead into paddock?
Oh, man. Now, Tracy has to force the issue here. He's got to get by Bourdais before Bourdais' tires are up to temperature. He has one extra lap of heat in his tires, but he's not going to be able to do it. Bourdais is going to be able to get going, and he'll be very defensive when Tracy catches him.
Patrick Lemarié being very aggressive in that white car. And Montero, oh, Montero look up the inside in the McLaren corner. On board with Tracy. Bourdais up ahead.
That's what we were talking about. Tracy made it to the magic 55, but Bourdais went to 56. And even though Bourdais got stuck in traffic, was 3 seconds behind Tracy when he stopped, that extra lap on hot tires has reversed the order. It's exactly what happened to Tracy at Long Beach. Jourdain went one lap further, came out ahead on the first stop, and was ahead the rest of the way until he couldn't get out of the pits on the last pit stop.
So that puts a great strategic arrow in Sebastian Bourdais' quiver as this race wears on.
And it just compounds itself because now he has one lap shorter to split his next stop with, so he can use more fuel. So Tracy has to be more conservative on fuel and try to get around. So definitely tipped strongly in favor of Sebastian Bourdais at this point. Long way to go.
The upper left of your screen, Jimmy Vasser, if you're just joining us, is out of the race. He went out on lap 1. The order is Bourdais, Tracy, and Junqueira. New fourth place man Mario Dominguez went from 6th to 4th on that pit stop sequence. Up Halewood Hill, named for the late great motorcycle champion Mike Halewood. Many-time world champion. Another great British racing legend. We'll be back to Brands Hatch in a moment.
Project supervisor for Bridgestone tires is Joe Barbieri. Joe, you just won the Spanish Grand Prix with Ferrari, and the obvious question for so many people is there a technical collaboration between what you do in Formula One and what you do in Champ Car?
Oh, absolutely. When we started Champ Cars back early in 94 testing in 95, we learned an awful lot about road courses and street courses. We were able to transfer that information to our Bridgestone guys in Formula One, and they picked up obviously 96 worth of testing and became successful in 97 up till now. So now they're able to go back, and what they learned they can transfer to our engineers, especially the great Bridgestone wet tire constructions and stuff.
Joe, you've never been to Brands Hatch before, so you guess on what to bring here. Was it a good guess?
Yes, it's been working out extremely well for us. It's a lot like Laguna with the road course, the elevation changes, and the construction out here. So they've been able to run many, many miles in laps on them without any difficulty at all.
Thank you, Joe.
Well, let's take a look at a comparison between the Formula One chassis and the kart Champ car. The Formula One car is a naturally aspirated V10, whereas the kart machine is a 2.65 or about 181 cubic inch liter V8 turbocharged. See the horsepower comparison, top speed, and so forth. The cars are dimensionally similar, but the important factor is the weight difference. The Champ car is about 350 pounds heavier with the driver on board than the Formula One car. On board with race leader Sebastian Bourdais. Paul Tracy, who started the race from pole and led up to the first round of pit stops, is right there in second place. Behind them, Patrick Lemarié, and the white car is a lap down. Let's go to Calvin Fish.
Bob, I'm here with Craig Hampson, engineer on the number 2 machine of Sebastian Bourdais. Fuel mileage is so critical here, Craig. Does Sebastian have a natural gift for being easy on fuel, or do you have to coach him on this?
Well, he's very smooth, and that helps to save fuel. I think our cars are pretty good this weekend. That also helps. And at this point, you just got to get the mileage to do it on one more stop, and you got to do that above anything else. But it's going going pretty well, it looks like.
I mean, the pit stops this year have really been your downfall. I mean, I'm sure you've thought things through and looked at the things that have happened in the first couple of races. Do you think that you've got things finally on track?
Well, to be honest, what CART did for this race really simplified the strategy options. There's still one more thing that could bite us if we get a yellow flag at the wrong place. But I think everybody went into the race the same thing. They want to try and do it on 2 green flag pit stops. So for this race, it was pretty obvious what you wanted to try and do.
Okay, great job there. Flip side, down at Paul Tracy's pit. Quick word with Neil Mickelroy just a moment ago. They said they were very happy with the pit stop, and 55 was their target lap. They said hats off to the number 2 car, Bourdais. They really stretched it and run a gamble there.
Thank you, Calvin. That is Alex Jung, who has nosed his car heavily into the tire wall up in the Druids corner. And we have a full course yellow flag. CART Simple Green safety team will be dispatched to remove the car of Alex Jung. You see him climbing out. He appears to be okay. That was a big impact, Tommy.
It sure was. And this might be the yellow flag that Craig Hampson was referring to that could complicate things. There's no definite right strategy. It's somewhat dependent on what everybody else does. But since Bourdais has stayed out, as has Tracy, they don't have much exposure. The question was, if the yellow comes out before 100 lap 110, do you stop? Manning has chosen to, and this might be something that Manning can parlay into climbing back up the order after that off-track excursion.
Alex Tagliani to the left of your screen, also pitted from 8th place. There goes Manning out the bottom of your screen. Thiago Montero also pitted, and here comes Rodolfo Levine, who will have to let discretion be the better part of valor in that meeting. Meanwhile, there are the leaders behind the safety car. Frankly, Tommy, it was a little astonishing to me that we've gone this far without a yellow flag. We were predicting a fairly chaotic situation out there.
Well, if practice was any indication, we were going to get several, and if we got them, we counted on them being relatively lengthy. So now this helps everyone from the mileage standpoint, but the plot thickens now a little bit with Darren Manning and Tagliani going on to that divergent strategy.
There's Mario Dominguez, currently running in 4th place. Let's get down to Derek Daly.
I'm here with Tom Brown, who's the technical director for the Bourdais team. Tom, you had a great pit stop. Dominguez went from 6th to 4th. Moreno's now 8th. But I understand you finally have something to do during pit stops.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming, but I think we finally found something that I could actually do. Frank, one of the guy we normally pose Darrell's hose, he hurt his hand, so I was promoted and got the job.
And he did a reasonable job because of that position. In fact, Frank is in the medical center receiving stitches. Frank Camacho receiving stitches in his hand because of that incident on the grid, but he is okay.
It's good to hear he's okay. And as you might have detected from Tom Brown's accent, he is not from Brooklyn. He is a Scotsman. Coming up next, a look at the running order. Sebastian Bourdais leads Paul Tracy and Bruno Junqueira, then Mario Dominguez, who picked up a couple of spots on the pit stop, Oriol Servia, Patrick Carpentier, Adrian Fernandez, Roberto Moreno, Michel Jourdain Jr., and Mario Haberfeld. Coming up next year on CBS, the PGA Tour on CBS takes you to the Quail Hollow Club in Charlotte for coverage of the inaugural Wachovia Championship. For more, go to CBSSportsline.com. America Online, keyword CBS Sportsline. We'll be back to Brands Hatch in England in a moment.
Pickup truck is a beautiful thing, so protect your truck bed with Tough Stuff, the Rhino Lining sprayed-on bed liner. Hi, I'm Mark Oliver. Drop-in bed liners just won't cut it. They can damage your paint job and create rust problems. But Rhino Lining's polyurethane truck bed linings are sprayed on up to a 1/4 inch thick. They can take a beating and won't crack or warp. They're warranted by your dealer for as long as you own your truck. Water can't get under a Rhino lining. It prevents rust. Drop-in liners don't. And Rhino linings resist chemicals. Rhino linings are only available from authorized